Bless Q Squad family. What is up? What is up, guys? I hope everyone's having a beautiful, lovely night. Staying humble and in your lane. You already know how we do it on this side of the streets. You already know. Guys, I know I haven't posted a video of talking in a little bit, and again, that's due to my throat. My throat's hurting. I really think I broke it on one side of my esophagus, and at this point I do think it's messed up, like for real. But that's neither here nor there. Guys, I want to talk about like handling certain griefs. You understand? And the type of griefs I want to talk about is when, we have our loved ones, people we care about, when they pass away and stuff, and how to go about certain situations like that. I only bring this up because one of my friends, their mom had passed away and stuff, so he's kind of taking that hard, feeling a little guilty, and other things that I wish that I could take his hurt, his pain, to transmute it into a better light so he could better understand. But right now he's unreachable because of his pain, the hurt he has inside his soul, and the way he sees himself at the moment, because he feels guilty about certain things and certain actions he's taken and stuff like that. And it sucks, it's hurtful a little bit, because he's a great guy, and I understand where he's coming from, because at one point I was there, when my grandma had passed away and stuff like that. That woman was everything to me, and she's still everything to me, even though she's not here on this earth no more. But I took a whole year where I had back away from everybody. I did not want to get close to not one soul, because my grandma, because she was everything to me, she was my brightest star in every darkest spot that I could ever imagine in my life. Even till this day, I just think about her, and I get through certain situations that I go through, and it just makes it better. And when she did pass, I was broken. My heart was broken, my soul was broken, everything within me was broken. So I can't imagine how broken he is, because that's his mom. You understand? My mom is still alive. So I really can't imagine, because I know if it was my mom, I would be completely broken as well. You understand? But the fact that he's blaming himself and stuff like that, we shouldn't blame ourselves. We should already come to an understanding in our lives that everything comes to its end, sooner or later. Do we want these things to come to an end? Absolutely not, because we have amazing and great memories with the people that we love and we care about in this world. So we go down dark path when we lose those people that are our anchors, our hopes, our light. You understand? When we go down that path, sometimes it's hard to get off it. And again, I say this because I've went through that when my grandma had died. I was a whole year, I didn't want to get close to nobody, I didn't want to talk to nobody, I didn't want nobody in my space, because I was scared if I get close to somebody that close again, whether it's my mom, my sister, my brothers, because I didn't want to go through that. The thought of losing someone you love so much, it's there's no words for it. You understand? And I know y'all all understand. We all lost someone one point in our lives, some way, somehow, and it's there's no words. There really is no words to really come up with how we feel at that moment. But we can't blame ourselves neither. You understand? Because there's some days that are hard while we're taking care of the ones we love, and some days that are easy. For the days that are hard, and we think about those hard days when those people have passed away. Like, I could have done more. I could have done this different. I could have said this different. I could have acted this way differently. And at the end of the day, you have to let it go. Because you don't want the resentment in your heart just because of a would've, should've, could've, when that's it. It's done. You understand? They already passed, and there's nothing you could really change. But you need to understand that when you're taking care of someone that's on their last hours of their lives, you have to understand that those people are very grateful because of the fact that you stood there, you helped, you cared for them, and blaming yourself when you tried your hardest is not the right thing to do, because excuse me, it breaks you more. It takes so much more away from you. And I could guarantee that this person is now with God in a better light. We have to rejoice from when they pass away. Because they're not here, they're not suffering, they're not in pain, and we have to give thanks to that. Because why do we want them to still be here in their last hours in pain and suffer, when we knew these people before they got whatever illness they had, whether it's dementia, whether it's cancer, whatever illness, you understand? We can't hold on to that. And to hold on to that means is to hold on to that person's soul on this earth. Because our moms, our grandparents, uncles, aunts, whoever it is, brothers, sisters, they don't want you to be in that energy. They don't want you to think that way, because then they can't have peace. They can't move on from this realm to go to God, because they're worried. They're worried if you're okay. They're worried if you find your understanding, that they're okay, that they appreciate you, that they're very thankful for the things you've done for them while they are alive. Within the year that when my grandma had passed away, I held on to her so tight that, she came to my dream as well, you understand? And I knew I was dreaming, and I know we all know when we're dreaming, when when we can't remember our dreams. And I remember this dream very, very, very well. And we was at her house, one of the houses she had in the Bronx and stuff. And we was there gonna go on to her upstairs floor, because there was water coming down, and it was soap water as well. And while we was walking up, I was like, Grandma, I was like, yo, be careful, I don't want you to fall. I was like, what's all this soap water coming from? And then she was like, do you know the meaning of soap water when you see it? I was like, no. I said, what are you talking about? I was like, come on, let's go fix this kitchen sink, and let's go from there, and let's get this together. And then she said, the meaning of soap water is meaning you have not let go. It means you're holding on. It means you're scared, and you need to let go. And I'm looking at her like, I don't know what you're talking about. Let's just fix this water, go back down, because I don't want you to get hurt, whatever. Fix the water, in the kitchen sink. We were getting ready to go down, and I'm gonna grab her hand, and she's like, oh, I got it, don't worry, I'm not gonna fall or nothing. I was like, okay. I said, you got it, big boss. Laughing with her in my dreams. Before we was going down all the way, to this day, this dream breaks my heart. she was like, yo, you have to let go. And she was like, when we was getting closer down to the staircase, and she was like, you have to let go. And I looked at her, and then I turned around again, and I knew I was dreaming. And I knew what she meant. And I turned around and I looked at her. I said, no. I said, there's no way I'm going to let go. There can never be any kind of way I'm ever going to let go. I said, you know how much you mean to me? Sorry. To this day, like I said, this dream breaks my heart. But I knew I had to. And in my dream, I was telling her, I was like, no, I'm not ready to let go. I can't let go. I don't know what I'm going to do without you. That you mean so much to me. And I can't do this thing in this world. Because, I told her you was there for me. When the people picked on me. When they looked down on me. Everything. I said, I can't. I don't know how to. She gave me the most heartwarming smile just as she did when she was alive. She told me, she's like, you're the strongest one I know. I know you got this. I know you could do this. She said, but I need to go. I need to go with God. And I want to see my mom. I can't leave if I know you're not okay. I know I had to. Because that's being selfish. I was being selfish. And I told her in my dream that I will. That I'm going to. Because I don't want to hold her. I don't want to hold her. Because I knew when she was alive, she missed her mom so much. She missed her mom so much. So I knew, even though it broke me, to this day, that dream breaks me. That I really don't tell nobody that Mom told my mom and my sister about this dream. And I'm telling you guys. Because we can't hold on. Because we're stopping them from going on and exploring their next mission in life. And that is the greatest gift when they go with God. When they see the ones that they cared about that was with them and they're gone, and they get to reunite with them. We have to be happy for them. We have to give them that, because we owe them that. Even though we want to hold on to them so badly. I wanted to hold on to my grandma so badly. But I knew I was being selfish. I knew. And I can't be like that. I couldn't. Because I knew that was her. One of her wishes was to see her mom again. And she was there. She was there. She was there. And guys, I don't want y'all to be hurt when someone you care about and love, passes on. Be happy for them. That they're going to a place that is much more peaceful. Or they're going to get reincarnated and, be in the next life with, maybe the person that they're looking for, and be with them all over again. You have to give thanks. You have to be happy for them. And I want my friend whose mom's passed away, you know, I want him to be happy as well, because he deserves that. And he done no wrong. Yes, he had difficult moments when he was taking care of his mom, but we can't change them moments, you understand? My throat. We can only hold on to all the good ones when we was there, because that's what matters the most, is when we're there taking care of the ones we love. And he needs to understand that you did everything in your power. You understand? You was a great son. You was there day in and day out. You helped her. You took care of her. You took care of her wants and her needs. You made sure she never had to worry about nothing. But you have to let go as well, because then you're stopping her from passing on and being at peace if she knows that you're not okay. And that's for everyone. We have to let go. We have to let go and let those people we love and care about be at peace, because they deserve that. You deserve that peace. You know, it hurts. It hurts a lot when we lose someone. And that I know. Understand. It hurt. It hurt when I lost my grandma. And the only thing we could do is give those blessings and thank God that he's protecting them. Thank God that he grabbed them and brought him into heaven with him. You know, we just have to learn to let go. There's no point on holding on to things that don't serve us. There's no point on holding on to the pain, you know, unless you're taking that pain to help you grow, to, you know, push you for better to a certain extent, because you can't always have pain in your life to make you a better person, because then that pain becomes hate, and then you start envying other people, hating on other people, and that's not good as either. We let go and come to the understanding that all things come to an end sooner or later. You know, no matter who we bond with in this life, we just have to be grateful for the moments we had while they were still here, and be grateful for the blessings they gave us, the lessons they gave us, the teachings they gave us while they were alive, and take those teachings as lessons and their blessings and pass it down to the next person for the good and the right. Don't be passing on, you know, generation curses. Give generation blessings, so that way each generation down is blessed with good and positivity and understanding of knowledge of the things of this world, whether they're good and bad. If they're good, put the correct understanding behind it, with no manipulations, no deceits, or any sort. You understand? And love the fact of they're present on this earth, and they're present while they go with God, because they were a blessing while they were on this earth, and they're still a blessing. You just got yourself a new spirit guide to help guide you in this world, and that's all you could do. That's all you could give. You understand? Instead of holding them back from transmuting to their next destination in the world, because this is only one stop, Earth. There's many other stops when we die. Now that is the real journey once we all pass in this world. But another one is what we leave behind, and make sure the things you leave behind are always good and positive and never bad. You want to be a good impact on someone, not someone that destroyed someone's life because you was mad, bitter, and had envy in your heart. And that's all I could say with that. And I'm going to leave it as here. I hope everyone has a good night. Stay humble, Stay in your lane. And God bless you all, guys.